Norwegian Wood, full story narration, detailed summary. Frame story, memory and loss. The novel begins with Toru Watanabe, now in his late 30s, arriving in Germany. He hears the Beatles' song Norwegian Wood, and the music triggers an overwhelming wave of memory. He is suddenly transported back to his student days in Tokyo in the late 1960s, when he was 19, and deeply entangled in love, grief and confusion. Everything that follows is Toru remembering that period of his life. From the beginning, the mood is soaked in nostalgia and melancholy, the sense that these memories are both precious and painful. Kizuki's death, and Naoko. When Toru was 17, he had a best friend named Kizuki. They were inseparable. Kizuki was dating Naoko, a quiet, sensitive girl. The three of them formed a strange emotional triangle. Toru was not romantically involved with Naoko at first, but he was deeply connected to both of them. One night, without any warning, Kizuki commits suicide. There is no note, no explanation, just a sudden, devastating disappearance. This death shatters both Toru and Naoko. They are left with a kind of emotional hole that never quite heals. After Kizuki's death, Toru and Naoko slowly drift toward each other, not out of happiness but out of shared pain. They start taking long walks together, often in silence. They don't talk much about Kizuki. Instead, they circle around the emptiness he left behind. Naoko is deeply fragile. She cannot process Kizuki's death. Her sadness is not loud, it is quiet, inward and suffocating. Cityscape Tokyo and loneliness. Toru moves to Tokyo for university. Even though he is surrounded by people, he feels emotionally isolated. He reads books constantly, listens to music, and keeps his distance from the political protests that defined student life in the late 1960s. This period of Toru's life is marked by emotional detachment. He doesn't fully belong anywhere. He meets Midori Kobayashi, a bright, bold, energetic girl who is completely different from Naoko. Midori is alive in a way Naoko is not. She talks openly about sex, death, and desire. She is funny, unpredictable, and emotionally intense. Where Naoko retreats inward, Midori moves outward. Toru is pulled between them. Naoko's breakdown. On Naoko's 20th birthday, Toru and Naoko finally sleep together. Instead of bringing closeness, it breaks something inside her. She soon leaves Tokyo to enter a sanatorium in the mountains, a peaceful place where people with psychological trauma live quietly. The sanatorium is surrounded by forests, fields, and silence. It feels detached from the world, like time has stopped there. Naoko writes Toru long letters. In them she reveals how deeply broken she feels, how she cannot connect to people normally, how something inside her is missing. She wants to be whole, but she doesn't know how. At the sanatorium, Naoko befriends Reiko, an older woman who is also mentally ill. Reiko becomes a kind of emotional guide for both Naoko and Toru. When Toru visits, the place feels unreal, beautiful, isolated like a soft prison. Naoko tells Toru that she loves him, but cannot be with him unless she becomes normal. She asks him to wait. He agrees, but waiting slowly destroys him. Midori and the Pool of Life. Back in Tokyo, Midori grows closer to Toru. She flirts with him, challenges him, and wants him to choose her fully. She is not afraid of desire or pain. But Toru is emotionally frozen, stuck between. Naoko, who represents the past, memory, death, and emotional fragility. Midori, who represents life, sexuality, chaos, and the future. Midori wants Toru to commit to her. She doesn't want to be second to a ghost. Toru cares deeply about her, but he cannot let go of Naoko. Candle. Naoko's suicide. One day, Toru receives devastating news. Naoko has killed herself. Just like Kizuki. The repetition of suicide feels cruel and cosmic, as if death is pulling people away from Toru one by one. Toru collapses emotionally. He wanders Japan aimlessly, staying in cheap inns, walking for hours, barely speaking to anyone. He feels disconnected from reality, drifting through life like a ghost. The novel becomes darkest here. Toru feels that everyone he loves eventually disappears. Reiko and goodbye. Eventually, Toru reunites with Reiko, who has left the sanatorium after Naoko's death. They spend time together remembering Naoko, sharing grief and confronting the pain. In a strange and intimate moment, Toru and Reiko sleep together not out of love, but as a way of mourning and releasing Naoko's spirit. Reiko then leaves for a new life. Toru is finally forced to face reality alone. Midori's voice. At the very end, Toru realizes he must choose life. He calls Midori. He tells her he wants to be with her. She asks him, "Where are you right now?" And Toru realizes he doesn't know. He is standing in the middle of a crowd but feels completely lost. The novel ends there on uncertainty, but also on the possibility of moving forward.